What's going on? In today's tech session, I want to talk about how to get your emails open. Now, before we start getting into a few tricks and tips that you can use to get them open more, just bear in mind that there could be some other issues, and we're happy to help you look into those, that are more than just subject lines and strategy behind it. You could have some issues with your server, your email reputation. A lot of things can contribute to poor open rates, and there's several steps at trying to figure out what those are. But right now we're going to kind of look more on the surface and go over a few ways that you can get your emails open more and really show you how easy it can be. Okay? So let's dive in. Way number one, personalize your emails. Now, obviously, that's going to be putting the first name into a subject line, putting something about them into a subject line. You also have the preview text. So you have the subject line, then you have the preview text below it. That's what, the first sentence or the first part of the sentence that they will see in their email client. Depends on who they use. Outlook, Google, they all display differently. Yahoo displays differently. But always put preview text in there whenever you possibly can. Okay, never leave that blank, because that's a great way for someone to see more about what your email is without even opening it. It's also a great place for you to add more personalization. Again, name, something about them, where they live. All this kind of data that you can collect, which we'll talk about, can be used to personalize it. Also, the from of your emails really shouldn't be just like marketing at or something kind of boring, okay? You should have it come from somebody at your company, okay? And you can create this email address if you want to. It doesn't have to be a real person, but it can be, someone created, maybe a persona of your company, which is fine too. But someone with an actual name, that's going to actually deliver a little bit better. Now, in the from field, you have the email address and then you have the name. So you could put, John from Brandspin, and then John at Brandspin is the actual email address that you're using. You see what I'm saying? That's something that you can be doing as well to help personalize it, and experiment with that a little bit. Feel free to change it up just in the beginning stages to see which one might get better email opens. I've actually recently done it with a client where one particular email wasn't getting very good open rates and was going to spam more in Gmail. So we made some changes, created a new email address, and the open rates have gone up by about 5% so far. So far, so good on that. Way number two is great subject lines. Now, I'll give you some examples of subject lines in the post, so go check it out. But let's talk a little bit more about it. A subject line needs to really be catered to what you're doing, what you're selling, or what you're promoting. Will it take one email to get your point across and give everyone enough information? Or will it take many more emails? Will it be a series? Does it need to tell a story? Do you have to paint the picture in email one, and it might take 3, 4, 6 emails to get that story completed? Kind of like a pre-launch? Think through that a little bit, okay? Because a great subject line is wonderful, but the email needs to follow suit. You have to be able to, one, obviously get them to email, open the emails, which is what this is, but make sure that those subject lines are catered to how long that sales process will take. Way number three, optimize for mobile. Now, most all CRMs these days do that automatically, where you can preview it on desktop or mobile devices, which is wonderful. Wasn't always the case. It's only been the last few years where this has become standard. Still, sometimes you're going to have to customize things for mobile and customize things for someone reading on a desktop or even a tablet, depending on the size of those, okay? Most emails will be responsive, meaning that they will change configurations based on the device someone's using, but always test that. And you need to be testing it across multiple devices. An email will look different on my iPhone Google than your Samsung Google. It's going to look different between a tablet. It's going to look different between a laptop and a desktop. So always be testing your emails, previewing them across multiple devices. That way you know that the readability, the functionality, everything is going to be great no matter what people are reading it on. Way number four, confirmed email addresses. If you send to confirmed email addresses, it more often than not comes from a server with a better sender reputation. Therefore, less spam and more landing in an inbox. So how do you do that? What that means is that when somebody signs up for something, the first thing you should be showing them or giving them before they get whatever they've signed up for is a confirmation request. Hey, just making sure we got your email right. Please click this link to confirm and we'll send over X lead magnet right away. All right. I love doing that because it's quality. We're not really focused on quantity these days. You're focused on quality. things have changed and you really need to be changing that mindset too. I would rather have 1,000 very qualified quality leads than 10,000 that I don't really know if they're that qualified or that, they're that interested because they just signed up and immediately got something. Again, there's a time and place for this thing. Schedule a strategy session. We'll go through it with you too. But, more often than not, I'm going to recommend that you have an email confirmation sequence whenever someone enters. Way number 5, segment your audience. Now, there's lots of ways you can do this using lots of different data, lots of different software, and it's really going to be business specific. But a few things that you can do right off the bat: check Google Analytics. Look at spikes in website visits. Look at more, when people are engaging more on your site. That's a great indicator of when you should be sending them emails. Most people don't do that, and a lot of people don't even know that you should. But it's not anymore just, hey, we're going to schedule these emails, we're going to send them at 7 a.m. every morning because that's when everybody else is doing it, and these are all the people doing it wrong. When I wake up in the morning, like many people, and there's studies behind this, I'll scroll through my inbox real quick and I'll delete most 99% of them. I just delete them. I don't even read them anymore. If something captures my attention, maybe with a great subject line, or they're segmenting to me, I'm more likely to open it. But I'm also more likely to open it at certain times of the day. So use that data to your advantage. Also, there's tools like iTracker 360 that allow you to collect way more data than normal, like where they're located. That's a huge thing, okay? If someone's located in a certain area, maybe you want to send to them at different times, or maybe you want to reference where they are. Are they getting a tropical storm? Is it snowing? Is it cold? Reference that stuff in your emails to further personalize it for that person. Remember, when you're trying to segment out a list, you really want to dive deeper into getting to know that person. If you take a little bit more steps up front, people really appreciate that because they know that the data they're giving you, the responses, it's going to help, hopefully, cater the experience to them, and they're going to get more of what they want and what matters to them. So don't be afraid to ask a few more questions along the way. It doesn't all have to be up front, but when somebody comes in via lead magnet or whatever the case is, it's okay to spend a few days trying to get to know them and catering the schedule and the content to what they want. Believe me, they're going to appreciate it, and the email rates will go through the roof compared to what they were. All right, so that's a few tips. Hopefully it helps. Put it to practice. Start using it. This is data-backed stuff. We do it all the time. Trust me, it works. Not lying to you. If you want to schedule a brainstorm session, do that. We'll go through some tips that are specific to your business to help you out with that. But believe me, this stuff's going to work. All right, good luck.